Hey, babe.
Hi.
We're gonna do a little discussion about dad bods because I know you're a
Well,
connoisseur of male physique.
I don't know what that body yet.
You don't know what a dad what? Don't you know about dad bod?
Dad, like
Dad bod, like
dad.
dad, like DAD.
Okay, dad bads.
Dad bod,
Bod.
bod.
Alright, dad bod.
It's a term that we use to describe like kind of like a man who after they have kids and they're like a dad, usually maybe they were fit before, but then they get like a belly basically. They get some small belly.
Oh, alright.
Dad bods. What have you learned about dad bods?
So every once in a while on social media, people will post a picture or, basically one of those body fat comparison pictures that you often see if you follow bodybuilding and all of that, where it shows like, here's someone with 30%, here's someone with 25%, here's someone with 20, and so on. And it will get down to, guys who are stage lean, who are just jacked and very lean. And if you ask women, which body do you prefer? A lot of women will say, I prefer the dad bod, right? Which is a guy who maybe is a little bit in shape, but not very much. And this seems to be something that women pretty consistently say, but there's a lot of discourse on that. Like, is that true? And so I asked women, I said, why do you like the dad bod? Why do you not like these other bodies? Because we also see.
Okay, let's ask you that question before we let him answer.
You know what? I don't have picture. I have to see it.
Okay,
Well,
so if you
okay.
look at this,
Mhm.
which one would you be more interested in? Like, which one do you like more?
Range 20% up to 30%.
Okay, so that would be sort of your
Yeah.
range, which is, yeah, dad bod and like maybe a little bit above dad bod. Is that a normal thing for you and your friends? Like when you talk to your friends, or do you even talk to your friends about that? Because you talk to women, you know.
Yeah, I have girls talk kind of
Yeah,
thing.
so
Well,
what would you say other women that you talk to think more like that?
Well, it depends with the type of woman as well. Like, there are some women like masculine body, like perfect body, but there are some or most women prefer like 50-50 thing, which is a little bit
50-50.
50-50, which is not that so masculine. Like, they're still
Not
fine
so
with,
many so much muscle, you mean?
yeah, yeah. For me, I like that because it's very huggable. Huggable like bear.
This explains a lot in our relationship
Like
right now.
bear.
These other bodies do emerge in female fantasies. For example, the covers of romance novels, which is kind of the erotic material consumed by women. Those are not dad bods. Those are usually someone who looks like a fitness model. You see, Chippendale's dancers. You see, for example, the calendars with the sexy firemen. Anytime women consume kind of a visual erotic material, even if it's very light, it tends to be someone who actually is kind of jacked and all that. And the men are described the same way within those novels. They don't tend to be described as a dad bod. They tend to be described as someone who is tall and, kind of lean. He's got abs and that sort of a thing. So I asked women, why do you like this dad bod? And a lot of it was like, the bodybuilder, he comes across as narcissistic. He would make me insecure. He might cheat on me. So there's kind of a lot going into that. That it's like, do women prefer these dad bods? Perhaps because they signal some kind of comfort. They're not as threatening to women. And even the idea of a man who's more muscular and larger, evolutionary women have a trade-off in their selection of mates. A strong man who's tall and physically imposing can protect them, but he also represents more of a physical threat to them at the time. So you have a lot of different converging things that might make a lot of women say, I would prefer the dad bod, who makes me feel comfortable in a sense, as opposed to like the really jacked fitness model kind of guy.
When you're saying that women some say that they prefer the dad bod over the stage lean guy, what about if they're given a much more normal, 10%, 11% body fat guy who has a good amount of muscle mass? What happens to the skew if you get rid of the extreme sort of bodybuilder body? Do you know?
Well, it's very rare that women, if they see the extreme bodybuilder, they very rarely seem to say like that's it. It tends to be more of the leaner kind of fitness model, but still much more muscular than the average man. But still, in that case, they tend to say, I don't want that. I want kind of the fluffier guy.
Yeah, I never when I see a lot of men
Yeah.
having six packs abs, sweaty, and then
Sweaty?
sweaty and the six pack having six packs
When are
abs.
you seeing sweaty men topless?
The gym.
When are you going to the gym? Wait, are you supposed to wear shirts at the gym?
Huh? There are some men removing that. Sometimes me like I'm passing sometimes at the gym. So at the gym it's like a transparent window kind of thing. So you could see them, they removing their shirts kind of thing. Or
I don't think you're actually allowed to, at least here in Canada, remove your shirt at the gym. If it's not breaking a rule, it would be considered bad etiquette.
well, it case to case also, or case to case with the rules of the gym as well, I guess,
Yeah, I guess.
for the
But a
owner.
lot of times those guys wear those,
Wearing fitted shirt or sando only, like
yeah, like the white beater shirt, and then it's
yeah.
like it's a little strap and it barely covers their nipple, but when they bend over to lift weights, like their nipple flies out anyways.
So
So
yeah, I see some those of them as well. I never find attractive at all. Like I don't know, but
so the really ripped guy,
yeah, like I really
yeah.
I really don't find attractive. But I don't say I hate them. I just really don't like. I'm not the fan of
I don't
having
say I hate them.
six packs abs or something
Huh?
with muscles and everything. For me, bad parts is fine.
And I wonder
It's fluffy.
too, like if men, I guess when you're younger, some men think like, oh, when I get this like ripped body, like women are gonna be
Hmm.
all over me. And I think that is true in some degree. Like a woman might be like, oh, I want to have sex with that person, but they're not necessarily thinking like long term with
Mm.
that type of person.
Eh, I don't like it. Sorry, you're not my type. This is my type.
She likes 25% body fat guys. Oh my
A
god.
baby.
Oh my god. It's it's interesting because actually it's less work, really, because being that ripped is a lot of work. So really,
Hmm.
what I'm hearing is you don't need to put that much work into your body. You need to be kind of
Well,
fit.
I think they're not working. They're just drinking something to have.
No, like they might be taking steroids and stuff, but they
Yeah.
have to work out at the gym. You can't just take steroids and be like, I got instant results. No, you have to like work out.
Popeye's eating spinach.
'What
I
sort of
would
body
think
fat do you think they end up settling on? Can you remember?
it would be between 20 and 15.
Wow. Wow. All of the guys on a permacut. You don't need to do it anymore. Just cheesecake yourself into a new relationship with a hottie. Yeah, I remember one of my friends who's been through all manner of different fitness pursuits. He's done weightlifting, he's done powerlifting, he's done bodybuilding, he did fitness modeling. Good looking kid. And his ex-girlfriend, who he's no longer with anymore, perhaps this is a contributing reason why, once said to him as he was prepping for a show and sort of dialing in his body and getting down to be super lean, she said, I've never been happier with you than when you were powerlifting. And for anybody that knows what powerlifters look like, they're in that sort of 15 to probably maybe even 25%, as you get up toward the super heavies. They're fluffy. They're a fluffy bunch. And yet she said that she'd never been happier than when that was the body type that he presented with. And I think, a concern about intrasexual competition, about mate poaching.
That's funny. I guess that's what I'm going for. I'm going for the power lifter.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah, because but power lifters, they are muscly, but they're fat too. So
Uh,
they don't look like they just look thick. They look
mm.
thick, but they don't look all like veiny and like ripped and stuff. They just look like a big guy who's thick. And I feel like that's how I look personally. That's how I look when I go out in these shirts. I'm like I look like a thick guy.
Oh,
So
like a bouncer.
I guess, but bouncers could be anything, babe. I don't know. That's interesting. This is good. This is good for me. That's why. That's why.
Like a
That's why we're
bouncer.
together. She's like, just stay like that. here's some Lint chocolates so you don't get too skinny.
No.
That must contribute a good chunk of it. Kind of it's not quite the same, but guys that are concerned about their partner posting bikini photos on the internet, a dude in a sufficiently well-fitted t-shirt who's walking around at 8% body fat, vascular as hell, and with a good amount of muscle mass, it's not, you can see what's going on here, right?
Would you feel that way if you were with a guy like you talked about, like a gym guy? He's like really ripped, looks really good. Let's just say you're in a relationship with him. Would you be more worried about other women trying to steal him or get with him or whatever if he was like really, really fit looking guy, opposed to like where we are now, like a guy maybe who has like a bit of a belly and whatever?
No, I'm not worrying. Like,
You're just not worrying in general?
no, I'm not.
So you wouldn't worry either way because you just don't worry about that?
I don't worry. Like, if like I receive like I see, for example, I'm dating someone like that, masculine one, and he posts something in a social media, like a picture of him, a body picture kind of thing,
Yeah.
and a lot of girls giving a comment or giving a compliment. Well, I don't worry anything, like, because it's just a comment or compliment or something. But if there's something wrong with a comment, like different comment, like weird
Like, hey,
thing,
message me. I want to
yeah,
talk to you.
kind of thing. So that's gotta be
But
a
what if they're getting like a bunch of comments?
well, it's
Like,
fine.
let's say like all these women are thirsting over his photo. Like, oh my God, he's so hot. And they're all posting fire emojis and like
Mm-hmm.
and eggplants. What do you wouldn't feel a way about that? You don't mind the eggplant emojis?
I'll give a comment back. Do you want egg for eggplant? There's an emoticon egg, right? When you
Oh,
but I'm
okay.
not worrying. Like, I don't care. Like, okay, I'm
Okay, we'll
fine.
try it on this video. We'll ask all the women to put eggplant comments on this YouTube
And then I comment
and see
back.
what happens.
I comment back. Do you want egg? I offer you egg.
You can make a lot of inferences about what's happening underneath the t-shirt in kind of the same way that a super party hugging dress does for women.
Exactly, yeah. And something else kind of related to that in the research is individuals who have partners who are more attractive, if they're men or women, they experience more jealousy. So it could be that, if someone is more conventionally attractive, they're going to be getting more attention. Perhaps it evokes more jealousy. They're going to be afraid, like you said, of mate poaching. They're going to be afraid, okay, this person might cheat. And there is some actually indication that for men, but not for women, that men who are a little bit more attractive might commit infidelity a little bit more. They're going to have more sexual partners. So there can be that perception, and it's not maybe perhaps totally inaccurate that, okay, if you get a guy who's very attractive, he's got a great body or something like that, is he going to stay committed to you? Is he more likely to cheat? And that's kind of something that women said, that he seems like he could be narcissistic. He cares too much about his appearance. And, I would worry about him being unfaithful.
Yeah, I've always thought about this, that somebody that's in good condition physically, it says an awful lot about them beyond simply what it's going to feel like to get them naked in bed. If somebody has trained consistently for a decade, you know so much about them. You know that they're probably not a massive degenerate drinker, because it would be very difficult to stick to the protocol if you did that they are reliable, that they can deal with discomfort, that they are able to overcome hard things, that they've got like a pain tolerance, which is kind of sexy, right? Like, a whole litany of different things: discipline, reliability. They've probably got a pretty robust friend group from going to the gym, all that sort of stuff. And that you tell that, but it's kind of a little bit like a hidden signal, because the only people that really know that are other people that also go to the gym. And it's not the first thing they think. The first thing they think is, look at the nice shoulders or the good ass or whatever it is that they're looking at. But the people that have spent enough time decoding what this means, and I do think that it probably percolates somewhere in the back of your mind, is that's probably quite a reliable person.
He said that's a very reliable person, but I was thinking if you're that very bodybuilder type person, I don't think it's you can assume that person is probably in the gym, has a very strict eating regime. Like they're like,
Eating
I
and
only eat chicken breast with rice and whatever every day and broccoli. Like They probably like spend so much time on fitness. That has to be annoying and tiring.
Obsessed with healthy, obsessed with
Yeah.
which is sometimes I think for me, okay, it's too
For you, I
much.
know that doesn't work.
Like, oh, too much. Oh my God, too much. I need pizza, burger.
I know when you were at my mom is obsessed with healthy stuff, and she's just like, Jessica brings like hot dog or like you had like these yogurt drinks or whatever the hell, and my mom's just like, just look at, ew, you have these? Oh my God! Oh, there's sugar in it. Oh, and everything. And she's like, how can you eat that? Don't eat that, and everything. And she like push it to the back of the fridge. And Jessica's like, how come I can't find my food?
My hot dogs.
Nothing.
And whenever we go out,
Yeah.
I always tell, well, that's way back then when we are in his mom's house. Whenever we go out, maybe we should buy hot dogs. We don't have hot dogs. We don't have hot
It's like
dogs.
we're at a Chinese food restaurant. What are you getting hot dogs?
Or and then sometimes we're doing sneaking like cooking meat, pork, which is your mom doesn't like it.
Oh yeah, it's so ridiculous. All right, thanks for watching our video. Please like and subscribe.
And don't forget to click that sorry. Click that bell notification for future updates.